Hallo meine lieben Freunde und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play. Nein, nein, nein. In der letzten Folge haben wir es endlich geschafft, den Mars-Schlüssel zu holen. Wir hatten in letzter Folge viel Chaos und ich habe einen ziemlich trockenen Hals gerade. Entschuldigt mich kurz, ich werde kurz was trinken. Okay, getrunken. Ich hoffe, das hat euch jetzt nicht gestört. Ja. Dann lasst uns mal gucken, was hinter der Mars-Tür ist, würde ich sagen. Let's go! Yay! We found it! So fängt doch eine Folge gut an, ne? Findet ihr nicht auch? They stepped through the door to find themselves in a wide hallway. Junpei, June, Lotus, and Santa stopped for a moment and looked at their surroundings. A short distance away, a metal gate extended across the width of the hallway. They took hold and shook, but it refused to move. Also hier ist dieses riesige Tor und es geht nicht auf. Nearby was a pair of elevators. It took only a few button presses to determine that the elevators would not respond to their efforts. Die Lifts gehen nicht. They could only assume the elevators were not powered. Okay. There was only one door left. Well, looks like we don't have any choice. Yeah. Sure does. Well then, let's open it. Ja, wir haben immer noch diesen geilen indischen Akzent von Lotus drauf. Junpei grabbed hold of the knob and quietly pushed the door open. He entered, slowly trying to take in as much of his surroundings as he could. Was ist das denn? The others followed shortly. Oh, so it's a kitchen. Santa did not look pleased. What were you expecting? Isn't it obvious? The exit. Da stand keine 9 vorne drauf, Santa. So weit waren wir schon. I was hoping this would be the way out of here. Huh. You really think it'd be that easy? Yeah, I know. Still. As they talked, Lotus headed deeper into the room. Sieht aber nicht aus wie eine Küche. Until at last she stood in front of a door. Yeah, she stood in front of a door. If we can just get through this door, we should come out on the other side of that gate we saw earlier. But don't we need a key for that? Ja, da war ein Kartenschlitz. Wir brauchen bestimmt eine Karte. Sorry, I guess that wasn't very constructive. Neither Junpei nor Lotus looked terribly happy. Junpei dug the ship map from his pocket and spread it out in front of him. As he did... Hey! What's that? Huh? Oh yeah, I guess I forgot to tell you. I found this a little while ago. It's a map of the B-Deck und die Karte ist weg bestimmt. Before Junpei could finish, Lotus snatched the map away from him. Mein Englisch ist heute furchtbar, es tut mir leid. She ran her fingers across it, muttering to herself. I knew it. See, look. Junpei did as he was told. Santa and June moved over to look at the map as well. See? We came in here. If we go out there, then we'll be on the other side of that gate. With her fingers, Lotus traced a path on the map. Okay. Jetzt weiß ich das auch. She was right. Satisfied that she had been correct, Lotus folded the map and handed it back to Junpei. Danke, Lotus, das war gut. Hast du toll gemacht. He took it and slid the valuable piece of paper back into his pocket. Das war jetzt total unnecessary. There's a card reader on the right side of the door. Then that means the key card is somewhere in here, right? That seems the most likely. Alright, we know what we need to do then. Let's get moving. First off, I say we split up and look for clues. Okay. Oh! Geil, es geht gleich weiter mit, wir müssen unseren Weg rausfinden. Okay. Gut, kriegen wir hin. Ich will nur ganz kurz den Ton ein wenig lauter stellen. Sorry, wenn man das hier jetzt sieht. In der Aufnahme. So. Ich habe nur kurz den Ton etwas lauter gestellt. Wir sind in der Kitchen. Wir gucken uns erstmal ein bisschen um. Ich habe Angst, dass es ein großer Raum ist und dass ich dann wieder ganz viel übersehe. I think there are 15 of these plates. I'm assuming they're for seafood. How the hell can you tell that? They just look like any other plate from the 99-cent store. If you ever take a lady out for dinner, you're going to embarrass yourself. I feel sorry for June. Wie alle halt denken, dass zwischen June und Junpei was läuft. What? Why the hell are you bringing up June? The lady doth protest too much, methinks. Ah, okay, das ist... Okay. You are not terribly subtle. Okay, there's a bunch of little wavy ridges on this plate. Those plates are for serving meat. Ugh. You really are ignorant, aren't you? Come on, it's not like I need to know this crap. Jeez. Okay. Partition. There's nothing special about it. Ich wollte eigentlich das reinklicken. 1, 2, 3. There's 10 of them. If you flip those over, they look like heads. The middle is super deep for a plate, as in Suppenteller. They're soup plates. Danke, Lotus. They're made that way so that the soup doesn't spill. If we ever get out of here, you should treat yourself to a nice dinner out. What makes you think a poor college student has the money to do something like that? Okay, was sind das? The 9 plates look pretty expensive. They're plates for appetizers. Remember, appetizers usually come on square plates. Okay. Well, excuse me, princess. Was ist das? There's a voucher at the end of the counter. This voucher doesn't match the number of plates on the table. It says appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Okay. And the plates on the table are 9 appetizers, 16 meat, 10 soup, 15 seafood. And maybe they're using hexadecimal? Maybe they're using hexadecimal here. Hexadezimal? Was ist hexadezimal? Das klingt mathematisch. And hexadecimal is? It's a number system that goes 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. Was ist das bitte? Ich glaube, das schreibe ich mir auf. Das sieht hässlich aus. Das sieht sehr hässlich aus. Also, Hexadezimal wäre 8, 9, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, 10, 11. Okay. You're familiar with base 10, right? That's the normal system of numbers. Also 1, 2, 3 und so. Und dann 10, 11, 12 und so, ja, okay. The base 10 equivalent for hexadecimal numbers would go like this. Okay, A10, B11, C12, D13, 14, 15. Okay. Und 10, 16. The 10 becomes 16 in base 10. I know it sounds strange, but you can think of it as just 6 letters added onto the normal number system after 9. Also das geht normal von 1 bis 9, dann kommt A bis F und dann geht's weiter mit 10? Hä? Was ist das denn? A10, B11, C12, D13, E14 and so on. I think I get it. Ja, okay, warte, dann. Hexadecimal. I wonder if it's some kind of hint. Yeah, maybe. Junpei, do you remember what I told you about hexadecimal code earlier? Yeah, of course I do. Ja, wir haben das vor 3 Sekunden gehabt. Alright then, here's a little quiz for you. What would 9 plus F be in base 10? Well, F is 15. So it'd be 9 plus 15, which would be 24, right? That's right. Good job, you're a fast learner. Okay, ich check das mit der Hexadezimal noch nicht wirklich, aber muss ich gerade auch nicht. Was ist das? Wow. This pot looks like it's made of silver. I bet drinking tea from this pot would be really yummy. Spending a day of June drinking tea. Could such a day ever happen for me? Jumpy? Oh, nothing. We don't really need hot water, so we should be moving on. Okay. Ist nichts? Das da? It's a note. It's got a bunch of stuff written on it, but it doesn't look like a code or anything like that. Okay. Ist das die Tür, von der wir kamen? Oh Gott, hier sind so viele Wege. Okay, ich gucke mich erst mal um. The shelf has a white cloth on it. So. There's so much stuff in here. A whole lot of cans. This is probably pantry, yeah. Eine Vorratskammer. There are cans lining every shelf in here. Wooden box on the second row, though. Das da? Ach Gott. Wir haben Messer gefunden. A rusty knife. I don't think we'll be able to use it while it's like this. The knife seemed important, Junpei thought, but it wasn't going to be much use the way it was. It's futile. Futile? Futile? You know, a waste. Useless. Pointless. Oh. Any particular reason you wanted to bring that up? Oh, no reason, really. I was just thinking about futility. Unnützigkeit? Ist das überhaupt ein Wort? Schreib mir das mal auf. Ich weiß nicht, weil es fett geschrieben ist. Futility. Futility. She wasn't making much sense. Niemand macht grad Sinn. Junpei tried rephrasing his question. Why were you thinking about futility? At last she answered. Well, it has something to do with the Titanic. Jetzt lass uns aber nicht wieder über Mumien reden. The Titanic? Yep. Have you ever heard the story that the sinking of the Titanic was predicted? Nee, hab ich nicht. Ehrlich gestanden habe ich das wirklich nicht. No, I haven't. What is it? In 1892, 14 years before the Titanic sank, a novel was published. It was called Futility. It was written by an American novelist named Morgan Robertson. The story was about a big cruise ship colliding with an iceberg and sinking. Ach, der hat es also vorhergesagt. Of course, it was the only similarity. There wouldn't be any reason to mention it. It wasn't, though. The name of the ship, its nationality course, departure time, size, displacement, maximum speed, number of passengers and crew, the number of lifeboats, even the location of the accident itself, and the cause, and the location of the damage. Everything matches the Titanic almost exactly. Ernsthaft? Ist es also echt so? Also im Real Life? Also gab es das echt oder ist das einfach gerade nur für das Spiel erfunden? Das würde mich echt interessieren. It was almost as if he'd seen the whole thing happen. But this book was written 14 years before the Titanic sank. But that's not all. It wasn't just futility that predicted the sinking of the Titanic. There were two other similar written stories by a man named William Thomas Stead, both of them before the accident. One in 1886 and one in 1892. Stead wrote two stories that had striking similarities to the Titanic disaster. In one, two ships collided, and many of the passengers died because there weren't enough lifeboats. In the other, a ship collided with an iceberg and sank. I don't know. I mean, I'll give you that it seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't too uncommon for ships to hit icebergs back in the day, or even other ships. Right. I knew you'd say that. But what if Stead had some sort of special powers? Also okay, in der letzten Folge hatten wir es ja mit der Telepathie. Und jetzt kommen wir mit Zukunftsvorhersage. Oh mein Gott! To be more specific, what if he had the ability to do automatic writing? Automatic writing? Was ist das? Are you talking about that thing where someone says they're possessed by a spirit And then they will write a bunch of stuff without knowing what they're writing? Oh god. Yes. What do you mean, yes? That's stuff. That's a load of bull. But Jumpy, you said you believe in curses. Come on, that's totally different. Okay, so let's say, hypothetically, that automatic writing isn't a total load. These guys still couldn't have predicted the sinking of the Titanic. When this dead dude wrote this thing, nobody had died on the Titanic yet. So if automatic writing is about being possessed by spirits of dead people, who the hell possessed him so he could write that stuff? Das ist wahr. Wenn er wirklich von einem Geist besessen war und ihn das hat schreiben lassen, war es ein Geist aus der Zukunft? That's not it. What's not it? Stat wasn't possessed by a spirit. He was doing the possessing. Hä, er war der Geist, der irgendjemand anderen heimgesucht hat? Hä, was? What are you smoking? Danke, Junpei! Das frage ich mich auch die ganze Zeit. William Thomas Stead was a passenger on the Titanic. He just wrote down what he saw with his own eyes. 20 years before it happened. Okay, das ist zu viel für meinen kleinen Zeierkopf. He decided it was probably best to say nothing. What June was saying was insane and utterly absurd. Yeah. If he tried to take what she was saying seriously, he'd go mad. Danke, das geht mir gerade genauso. Junpei smiled uncomfortably. Well, why don't we talk about this some other time, okay? Huh? But... Her voice trailed off and she glanced at the floor, troubled. Tap, tap? Junpei tapped June gently on the shoulder and awkwardly reached around her to pick up the knife from the box. Rusty knife. Na, warte. We're really in trouble. I know I'm just repeating myself, but this is really a futility moment. This blade is so rusty. Yeah, I know. We can't cut a damn thing with a knife like this. If we're going to cut anything, we probably have to sharpen the knife. Okay, good. If I can sharpen the knife, I should be able to cut stuff with it. Okay. Ist es auf diesem Ding hier... there's nothing inside. Okay. There are kinds of wooden boxes. Okay, was haben wir hier? Käse! Oh, Käseräder. There are a number of cheese lined up on a shelf. This is Gouda cheese. The most famous Dutch cheese. Ah, ich liebe Gouda. If you don't cut open the casing, it usually won't go bad. So you can store it at room temperature for quite a while. So we can eat this? Most likely. I'm not hungry at all. I guess it's hard to get hungry in a situation like this. There's cheese on the shelf. Sweet. Kann ich irgendwas mit diesem Käse machen, oder? Okay. Ich muss meinen Block wegtun. Dann... There's milk in here. Huh? Milk in an iron barrel. Judging by the rust, it's probably really old. Maybe we shouldn't open it up. I don't think it'd be a pretty sight. Okay. Eine Sekunde. So. Mich hat nämlich gerade jemand in der Aufnahme gestört und dem musste ich nur gerade sagen, dass ich in der Aufnahme bin. Okay, lasst uns weitermachen. Okay. Da ist Milch. Gut. Diesen Teller. A sink. It's still got water in it. There are a couple plates in there, but I don't think they're gonna help us much. Sicher? Sind es nicht? There are a couple of plates in the water. Okay, was haben wir hier? Whetstone. Was ist ein Whetstone? A whetstone? What you planning to do with that? Oh shit. Don't tell me you're gonna try and smash open the card reader. Are you an idiot? If you do that, then we'll never get out of here. Oh. Yeah, I guess that would be bad, huh? These whetstones only be useful if you need to sharpen anything. Das lassen wir mal kurz unkommentiert. Maybe I'll use the whetstone to sharpen the knife. Okay. The blade of the knife is getting sharper by the second. I should be able to cut something pretty good with this. Okay. Gut, was haben wir hier? Den Teller können wir uns nicht angucken. Gut. A trash can. There's nothing inside of it. Well, better than being full of rotten food, I suppose. Okay. Damn it, there's nothing in here. Hey, Santa, digging through the trash really suits you. Oh, bitchy! What the hell did you say? Listen, lady, I did you a favor. I knew you'd just piss and moan, so I did it for you. Oh my, I don't recall asking you to do anything. Ugh. I ought to throttle you. Excuse me. Was? Does it feel colder in here? What the fuck war das gerade? A countertop. There's a rolling pin and a colander here. Nothing useful. Okay. Gut. Oh, was haben wir? Oh! Okay. Sorry, das ist gerade wichtig gewesen. Nochmal kurz eine kleine Pause gemacht. Wir brauchen hier einen Code. This is probably what you're supposed to enter the password. Maybe if you put in the right number to open the oven door. Warum ist ein Ofen abgeschlossen? An iron oven looks pretty heavy duty. It's probably industrial quality. I bet you could cook anything with this. Anyway, let's have a look inside. Ja, ja. It's locked. Okay. Da brauchen wir einen Code für. What could be a pot and frying pan? Oh, and pressure cooker. Well, I guess we could use some of those as weapons. What kind of an idiot are you? You're gonna run around holding that thing while you're looking for the dead? Hey man, it was just a joke. Why are you so serious? Okay. It's only a partition. There's nothing else worth noticing here. Alright, it's going. Ist das ein Grill? Do you think this was all part of Zero's plan? Probably. Kinda hard to tell, to believe. There's a chef on board somewhere. It's a grill. There's some coals down here. They're bright red. Looks like the area under the plates open up. No, you can't. I already checked. It's sealed shut. I think that's where the coal goes. Es geht nicht auf? The area where you put the coal, it's sealed shut. We can't get it open. Okay. Whoa, what a nice dish rack. I'd love to have that in my kitchen. Why don't you take it back with you? Are you offering to carry it for me? Why don't you ask 7? You're kidding. You don't honestly think I'd let a beast like that into my home, do you? Okay. Maybe this table is for preparing the food. There are plates everywhere. Okay. War's das schon? Countertop. And the colander nuts. That's the exit. There's a big old iron plate over the door. I don't think we can open it. Hey Santa, could you open that door please? What the hell? There's no way I could open that thing. Guess you're getting to that age where your eyes start to go, huh? You'd better watch your mouth, boy, or someone won't live long enough to see that door opened. This has got 2 of them on an edge. We gotta get out of here and fast. Alter, die bringen sich noch um. It's a tank with a pipe coming out of it. Nothing really that special about it. It's a bolt, and it's really rusty. Will this even open? We won't know until we try. Let's give it a shot. Alright, let's see if you're gonna come out. Damn, no dice. Okay. Well, I can't move the doorknob. Then I'll get this bolt off. Okay. A rusted bolt. This door won't open until we can do something about this bolt. Maybe if we had some kind of lubricant. Okay. Also können wir schon mal nicht. Mit dem Messer. The bolt is rusted. It won't move. I don't think I can get it out until I have some kind of lubricant. A door. There's a bolt keeping. Okay. Ja, ja. Habe ich verstanden. Wir brauchen irgendwie Flutschzeug. Das ist die Ausgangstür. Das ist der Grill. Wofür könnten wir denn das Messer brauchen? Vielleicht um Käse zu schneiden? There's cheese on the shelf. Sweet. Okay, nicht um Käse zu schneiden. Für was brauchen wir das Messer? Für die Silver? Nein. Für die Messer, für die ganz bestimmt nicht. Das ist die Oven Door. It's locked, of course. Vielleicht wo ist denn der Grill? Für hier? This is apparently area to put the coal. It's sealed shut. We can't get it open. Nicht mal mit dem Messer irgendwie aufhebeln? Das ist komisch. Was können wir denn mit dem Messer machen? Hier? It's a sink with water and there's a couple of plates in the water. Ich habe bestimmt wieder irgendwas übersehen. There's nothing inside. Rolling pin. Okay, oh, lights. It's nice to have something finally go our way. Okay. Das ist die Oven Door, it's locked. Habe ich den Code hier irgendwo schon gesehen? Looks like a bunch of instructions for using the cooking utensils. Nothing really suspicious about that. Der Code für den Ofen ist obvious. Aha. Ja, that's how you count in hexadecimal. There are 9 plates for appetizer. 9 is 9. Even in hexadecimal. There are 10 soup plate, 10 is 8. Ah, warte. Das schreibe ich mir auf. Okay. Ja, warte. Ja. Also. Appetizer 9. Ist in Hexadezimal auch 9. Ach, nicht das Partition. Komm schon. Ach, komm schon, Junpei. Dann haben wir Soup 10. Das ist in Hexadezimal A. Seafood ist 15. Das ist in Hexadezimal F. Oh, komm schon. Und Meat sind 16. Und das ist in Hexadezimal 10. That is nuts. Dankeschön. Ich stimme dir zu. Mach mal das bitte. Warte mal. So, I guess you managed to sharpen the knife, Junpei. Whoa, who you gonna stab with that? No one. You could probably cut something soft with that. Cut something soft, okay. Ich will mir mal kurz... This table looks a little old-fashioned, probably means it is in an old boat. Ich will nochmal zum Ding. Hier, Ding. Da. Hey Junpei, why don't you try entering the numbers we found on the voucher earlier? Oh mein Gott, ich hab's also tatsächlich. That one said appetizer 9, meat dish 10, soup A, seafood dish F. Yes, convert the 10 A and F to base 10. Well, it's worth a shot. Okay. No dice. Looks like that's too many numbers. Was? Hey, was? Looks like the numbers on the voucher isn't the actual passcode. Nein, ich dachte, das wär's gewesen. Och Mann. Okay, Hä? There's a note here, but it doesn't look it's very important. Hä? Ich versteh's nicht. Maybe this table is for preparing food or plates. Was muss ich mit dem verfickten Messer machen? Nothing useful. Partition splits the room. Was ist das hier? Ist das wichtig? There are some bottles of seasoning in here. Ach komm schon. Ich dachte, jetzt hätte ich was... Ist das eine Tür? This is the door we came through. It's not locked, so we could go back out, but... What's the point? All that's out there is an iron gate in a dead-end hallway. Might as well be locked for all the good going back. Ich muss doch... Ich muss diesen scheiß Käse schneiden, oder? Yes, cheese. Ihr sagt über... Warte, da ist was. Da hinten ist was. Oder? Nee. Doch, hey! There's something behind the cheese. Oh, gut. You're right. Why don't we move some of the cheese? Alright, guys. Time to move it. Jude and I need to look behind you. Okay. There's a little green bottle back there. Bottle of oil. Oh, look! Cooking oil. You could probably use this to make something slippery. Ah, wir brauchen doch Lubricant. Ah, ja, jetzt gibt es auf alles auf einmal mehr Sinn. Ja. Hier. Öl. Mach mal. This bolt is rusted in place. It won't budge. Of course. Maybe if I put some oil on it. Hey. Just a little bit of oil and... Come on. Come on, you little son of a bitch. Haben wir gerade eine Tür beleidigt? Whoa. Ha, yes. Got you, little bastard. You did it, Jumpy. You're so smart. Okay, lasst uns die Tür aufmachen. Oh, das ist der Kühlraum. As Jumpy walked into the room, a blast of cold air washed over him. Almost instinctively, he folded his arms tight across his chest, doing what he could to conserve body heat. Ugh, it's cold in here. What is this place? Are you blind? It's a freezer! Santa's teeth had already begun to chatter, hardly surprising. The freezer was far too cold for someone dressed as he was. Uh-huh. Lotus, however, was in an even worse situation. Lotus hat ja fast nichts an. Oh, no way! That's way too cold for me. I'll freeze solid in seconds. Sorry, but I'm afraid I'll have to pass on this one. I'm going to leave the rest of you. And with that, she ran out of the room. As Lotus left, June came in. Whoa, it's really cold in here. White puffs of steam hovered in front of their faces as they talked. June had already started to shiver. Hey, you don't need to be in here. You had a fever just a little bit ago. You should stay outside. We got this. No, I'm fine. My fever's gone now. But Junpei had sarkily opened his mouth. When the thunderous sound of metal upon metal rang out. Was? Die Tür ist zu! Oh nein, die Tür ist zu! The door was closed. Alle so, what the fuck? Junpei rushed to the door. Desperately, he grabbed hold of the doorknob. Ow! It was cold. Beyond cold. Merely touching it was painful? The doorknob had been frozen solid. Hat Lotus uns eingeschlossen? They quickly deducted that the pipe next to the door had ruptured. Water released by the rupture had hit the door and frozen instantly. Ach Gottchen. Santa shoved Junpei aside and pounded against the door. Ja klar, Lotus. Hey, Lotus! You're out there, right? Open the door! She wasted no time in responding. What do you want? What's going on? The door won't open. Try opening it from that side, please. Ugh, fine. If you say so, hold on. Soon they could hear Lotus on the other side of the door. Ah! 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 Then the grunting ceased, and they could hear light panting as from exertion. It's no use. It won't budge. You've got more people in there. You figure it out. Das ist alles. Mehr hat Lotus nicht zu sagen. God damn it. Santa was shaking like a newborn deer. June was hugging herself and was shivering violently. Even Junpei, with the heaviest clothes of any of them, was clearly feeling the cold. With every breath they took, they could feel the cold working its way deeper and deeper into their bodies. Anyway, let's find a way out. If we don't get moving, we're gonna be permanent residents. The two heads are better than none. I'm sure we'll figure something out. Yeah, you're right. This klingt nach einem Rap. Let's just take a good look in this room, okay? Right. They pushed in close to one another and began to search. Okay. Ich sehe es gleich von hier. Oh, was ist das? Sturdy rope. Okay. It's a rope. Well, we could use it to attach something to something else, I suppose. Ja klar, okay. Was haben wir noch drin? There's so much stuff in there. Why don't we take some of it out, Jumpy? Water bottle. A water bottle? Yes, it is. Ist da was drin? An empty. Okay, the neck is pretty small. I don't think I could fit anything very big in there. Okay. There isn't anything else here that looks useful. Okay. Ja, okay, da ist nichts mehr drin. Was haben wir hier? Dry ice. Trockeneis. Dry ice? Can't you make that stuff cause an explosion if you seal it in something that's airtight? Was? Explode? Yeah, didn't you that in school? You should never underestimate the power of expanding gas. Dry ice. We might be able to cause an explosion if we put it in something airtight and make it melt. Okay. Junpei picked up the dry ice with his sleeves so as to avoid burning himself. Dry ice is just frozen carbon dioxide, right? Oh mein Gott, mein Kopf muss so mitdenken. Yeah, it is. I wonder how warm it has to get for it to turn back into gas again. Hell if I know. How's that gonna help us anyway? Oh well, I figured we might be able to use it to get out of here. Ja, das hatten wir gerade. They were about to move on when June spoke up. Carbon dioxide sublimation point is minus 109 degrees. Any warmer than that and it'll turn into gas. Any lower and it becomes a solid. Junpei looked at her dumbfounded. How do you know that? Teehee. Despite my looks, I'm the queen... the queen of random knowledge. Looks bad to mess up when you're showing off. Argle move? Was? Okay. Oh, you're so cold, your mouth going numb? Yeah. That's... what's right? You're just doing it on purpose, aren't you? June giggled and did her best to hide her guilt. At least she was still feeling good enough to joke around, Junpei told himself. Come on, guys. Don't you think that's kind of weird? I wonder why it doesn't turn into a liquid first. Santa was now shivering at an astonishing rate, but his curiosity seemed unaffected. Jetzt kommt's mit Kimi, oh mein Gott. Junpei, however, was not in the mood to discuss science. He wanted out of the freezer now. It did strike Junpei as rather odd. Hä, was? Alter, dieses Spiel lässt mich ständig an Santa question. Ich will nicht immer alles hinterfragen, was er tut. He wanted out of the freezer, no. His patience was wearing thin. How the hell would I... Oh, ich habe das falsch verstanden. Oh, tut mir leid. And how the hell is that gonna help us going out of here? We don't have time for... Oh nein, das wollte ich gar nicht, sorry. Actually, Junpei stopped mid-sentence, surprised by June's interjection. Under enough pressure, carbon dioxide will turn into a liquid. This isn't really a good time for a chat about science. Okay, das wollte ich gar nicht, sorry. But I was wondering the same thing. Wondering what? Wondering why carbon dioxide doesn't turn into a liquid unless it's under pressure. Right? It just seems weird. Water's a liquid between 32 degrees and 212 degrees. So why isn't that the case for carbon dioxide? H2O and CO2 are pretty similar. No, they're not. They're totally different substances. Look, guys, if you keep this up, we're just going to freeze to death. You good with that? You wanna die talking about sublimation and gases? 'Cause I sure as hell don't. He fixed both of them with a glare. Now let's get back to work. Assuming you don't want to end up like a pair of ice sculptures. Junpei turned around. The problem dealt with. Oh, ich wollte gar nicht so aggro sein. Or so he thought. There's a kind of ice that doesn't turn into liquid when it goes above 32 degrees. I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Its melting point is 96 degrees? You mean there's water that freezes at 96 degrees? Yeah. Well, you could also look at it at ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. Water that freezes at 96 degrees. Ice that won't melt until it's 96 degrees. That's interesting. Now that was difficult to ignore. Junpei had to ask. So what's this ice with a melting point of 96 degrees called? Die haben das so oft wiederholt, ich schreibe mir das auf. Also so oft, wie die jetzt das wiederholt haben, muss es wichtig sein. Okay. Ice. Melting point 96 degrees. Okay. I heard it's called Ice 9. Schon wieder die 9, eh. Ice 9. Okay. Ice 9. Originally, Ice 9 was a made-up substance invented by a science fiction author. But recently, scientists have discovered that such a substance actually exists. Wait, hold up. So is this thing called Ice 9, or is it water? Like I said, if the ice is over 96 degrees, it'll be liquid. If it's under that, it'll solidify. So you could think of it as a polymorph of H2O. Here, think of it like diamonds and graphite. They're both made of carbon, right? But depending on the structure of the crystallization, the hardness and structure are completely different. So you're saying normal water and this Ice 9 are like that? Yep. She wasn't finished. Have you heard the story about the crystallization of glycerin? Zucker? For 150 years after the discovery of glycerin, people cooled it, warmed it, and did all sorts of things to it. But whatever they did, it never crystallized. However, one day in 1920, some glycerin that was en route to England by ship was discovered to have crystallized during this trip. Naturally, scientists worldwide wanted to research this new, crystallized form of glycerin and began asking for samples of the seed. A seed is, of course, a sample of the original crystallized substance. With a seed crystal, further crystallization of glycerin would be a simple matter. However, something very strange happened. Not only did the glycerin encouraged by seed crystals begin to crystallize, nearby samples did as well. Entschuldigung. It didn't end there. After that day, all glycerin in the world began to crystallize naturally when cooled to less than 64 degrees. Before that day, no matter how glycerin was cooled, it refused to crystallize. But once the crystallization had begun, it was almost like... how do I put it? It was all like... all glycerin in the world was communicating. Telepathisches Glycerin? Communicating in some way we can't sense. Junpei was honestly impressed, was kind of annoyed. Ehrlich gestanden, der Schluss hat's mich jetzt gemacht, dass ich annoyed bin. Aber ich will mal nicht so sein. Was honestly impressed. It was, in fact, a pretty interesting story. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Das haben wir gerade gesagt. But, what does that have to do with Ice 9? To his surprise, it was Santa, not June, who answered. What she's saying is that it's a lot like Ice 9. What happened, I mean? A lot like? That would be bad. If water everywhere started freezing at 96 degrees, man, it'd be the end of the world. Junpei felt that Santa might not be treating the idea of the end of the world with proper concern. At any rate, we're not gonna have to worry about the end of the world unless we can get out of here pretty damn quickly. He was right. Junpei shivered. Alright guys, I think that's enough of that. I don't think we get quite this far off topic. I mean, I know I'm kinda at fault here, but we can't be screwing around anymore. Seriously. I might go by the name Santa right now, but I didn't grow up in Iceland. I freaking hate the cold. So let's get cracking, alright? We gotta find a way out of here. Santa stomped off, clearly doing his best to pretend the cold wasn't affecting him. Selfish, isn't he? Thought Junpei to himself. Still, Santa was right, and it was high time they got back to their search. The story of Ice 9 had him interested, but there'd be time to think about that once they'd gotten out of that freezer. Junpei looked at June and nodded, and resumed the search of the room. Alter, in dem Spiel lernt man halt auch richtig was über Science und so, aber das ist so viel auf einmal immer. Man muss immer so viel mitdenken und alles. Okay. Ist da noch was drin? Außer Fleisch und toten Ratten? Nein, okay. There's some frozen meat up there. Looks like pork. Huh, what's this? It looks like a tag or something. Chunk of pork. Tatsache, da ist irgendwie ein Zettel drin. Junpei, is there a slip of paper in that meat? I think there's something written on there, but I can't read it like this. If we try and pull it out, it'll probably rip. You need to defrost that. Don't think we're gonna be doing that in this room. Ah, ich muss es auf den Grill legen. Ah, klar, okay. Gut, das muss ich auf den Grill legen. Gut. Everything's frozen in here. It doesn't look like there's anything else interesting. Let it go, let it go. Everything's frozen in here. Let it go, let it go. I hope we don't freeze to death. This thing is covering something. It's frozen solid. I can't flip it over. Sicher? A cover. It's frozen in place. I can't get it off. There's water dripping from this pipe. It looks like when the pipe burst, the water hit the doorknob and froze it in place. This water actually seems almost warm. Ah, warte, there's warm water. Warte, wir tun das mal in die Flasche rein. There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Hey, kann ich das nicht? Kann ich das nicht in die Flasche reintun? Oh, schade. It's thin pipe. Ah, warte. Kann ich das Eis damit schmelzen? There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Nee. Kann ich das hier? There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Nee. Okay. Aber sonst ist hier aber auch nichts mehr drin, ne? Dann können wir das hier an der Tür festmachen. Hey, Junpei, didn't you find some dry ice earlier? Yeah. There's warm water coming out from that pipe. Warm water and dry ice. What do you think would happen if we put that stuff in a sealed container together? Das habe ich doch gerade Ich sehe, was das Spiel von mir möchte. Ich soll das hier kombinieren mit dem hier. Nein? Hä? Okay, warte. Dann tun wir nochmal Wasser hier rein. There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Hä? Das ist Eis? There's warm water flowing from the pipe. Dry ice. We might be able to cause an explosion. Make it melt. Hä, muss ich das da nicht hier rein? Hä, oder muss ich erst das Messer benutzen? Oder muss ich hier das Messer benutzen? sealed container. It's an empty water bottle. The neck is pretty small. I don't think it could fit anything very big in there. Hey, brauche ich irgendwie einen Trichter oder so ein Kack? There's warm water. There's warm water. Das kann ich damit auch nicht schmelzen. There's warm water. Kann ich vielleicht hiermit? A cover. It's frozen in place. I can't get it off. Cover. Nee. Okay, aber ich würde sagen, Leute, weil meine Konzentration noch langsam echt nachlässt, weil wir haben echt viele Infos bekommen in dieser Folge, würde ich sagen, wir beenden die Episode hier für heute. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet genauso viel Spaß, wie ich es hatte, auch wenn es so viele Informationen sind und so viel zu merken und so viel zu aufschreiben. Aber ich denke doch, es lohnt sich. Also ich hoffe zumindest, dass es sich lohnt. Wie dem auch sei, Saya out. Saya geht jetzt erstmal ganz viel trinken, weil sie einen trockenen Hals hat und wahrscheinlich ein Nickerchen machen. Mein Gehirn muss das erstmal verdauen. Bis zum nächsten Mal. Macht's gut. Bye, bye.